Hello guys, it's Chris here, and today we are going to be doing a quick react. One of my subscribers suggested this to me, and it is an interview Tess Holliday did recently talking about her new book for teens, tweens. She shouldn't be writing books and giving advice to anybody, especially impressionable young people, but we're gonna check this out and see what she's up to. I normally don't see her in anything hardly these days besides her TikToks. Yeah, we are going to get into this. Okay, so this is from a TV network in New York.
Our next guest is one of the world's most recognized and influential plus-size models, and really a pioneer of the body positivity movement.
That's an old picture of Tess. And Tess is not a model. She likes to call herself a supermodel. She was a statement model. She was a political pandering model. She's not actually a supermodel. She's not tall enough. She doesn't fit the standard. And she does not fit the standard for a plus size model. Plus size models still have a feminine, womanly, human, Homo sapien shape. They're just a little curvier. Tess is super just bumpy and round, and she's not plus size. She's super morbidly obese. So I hate that she calls herself a supermodel and everybody feeds into her delusion.
Since 2010. Her new book, Take Up Space, y'all, aims to give women permission to dismantle social media toxicity and embrace our unique identity and unapologetically live out loud and on our own terms.
Which is a little crazy because she is a very toxic presence on social media. She is very negative. She's very condescending. And she's just very, I don't know, self-important, and either is just bitching at people, being negative, or eating on camera, and giving bad advice. That's all she does on TikTok. So why you would have her talk about being positive and all that, it don't make any sense.
Us in there because I feel like she's speaking to us.
Oh yeah. Please welcome Tess Holliday. Hello, Tess.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Great. Jesus. Oh my God. She gets bigger every time I see her. It's a shame because I think she has a pretty face. She's an attractive woman, but she has just wrecked her body to the point where it is beyond the ability to ever bring it back fully. That being said, she should totally 100% lose weight because, one, she would probably gain a whole new following if she lost a bunch of weight. She needs to worry about her health. She has 2 children. One of them is very young. And she can get skin removal surgery and nips and tucks and stuff to kind of fix a lot of the damage. Her tattoos would be, they'd be screwed. Because she'd have so much loose skin she'd need lopped off. Her tattoos would be all messed up and she'd need to get them all covered. But that wouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things. This woman is not healthy. She is super not healthy. And the fact that she tries to say that she's healthy and she's positive and she loves herself, the nerve of this woman to act like she loves herself and to tell other people, especially women, especially young people, to love themselves like this and to stay like this is awful. Yes, you should love yourself. Don't beat yourself up about who you are and what you look like. But if you have problems and things you need to fix, then love yourself enough to do the work to fix them. Don't just stay this way. If you're fat, don't just stay that way and get fatter. Love yourself to say, I am this size and this way right now, but I'm going to work to get fitter and get healthier and love my body enough to take care of it. This woman is like the worst role model, and she is bigger than ever. This is not a plus size model. Okay, this is not a plus size model, guys. This is not what a plus size model looks like. If I remember, I'll put some pictures up somewhere around here of what an actual plus size model looks like. This is a model if you're modeling like as a beach ball or a planet. I'm not trying to be mean, but she is absolutely positively spherical. And if you notice, in anything you see her in anymore, they don't ever show her coming out and walking and sitting down because she has mobility issues. They just show her once she's already sat there.
Great to see you, and it's great to know that superstars like you are like us because you too watch Hunting Wives.
Jesus. Now, I'm going to point something out here. She is as wide. Like, she can't sit back. She's so wide. But she is so big that she's as wide as these two other women combined. If you look at it, she really is. And they have about a foot of space in between them in the middle. The one on the left in the blue pantsuit is overweight. She is overweight. The one on the right is a healthy weight. But the one on the left is probably about 30, 40 pounds overweight. And Tess is as big. And like I said, the gap in the middle, and she's as big. I mean, my God, she was insanely overweight when she first started. She was 300 some pounds. She is every bit of, I would say she's up in the high 400s. She's probably between 470 to, she might actually be 500. I just, wow. I am shooketh. God. And she's 40. Okay. She's like acting all ha ha ha. Everything's great. Life is amazing. She is really going to start having some medical issues coming down the pipe real quick. If she doesn't already, she just has too much pride and has put too much on the line with, we don't talk about health. We don't mention health in my house, blah, 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 blah. She won't be able to, and she'll never admit to health problems, even if they are actually present. So let's all remember that she is not going to admit to health problems. We need somebody in her life to be kind of a whistleblower and get the dirt and let people know, because her fans have a right to know, right? Her fans have a right to know that the information she's giving them and the life she is pushing on them does and will have consequences, because she acts like it doesn't.
I do. I'm jet lagged and sleepy from Hunting
We're
Wives.
staying up too late watching. I know, but you know what? Sometimes we just have to lose ourselves in some twisted television.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you for spending time with us this morning. You've always been a beacon of just...
I noticed she doesn't have heels on anymore. For a long time, she's had to wear those thick, chunky, low kitten heels because she can't walk in real high heels. But now I see she's graduating just to plain old flats.
Positivity, embracing who we are, which is sort of ironic considering that you started off as a model, which is something, you know, the spotlight is you were scrutinized.
A statement. That's what she was. She was a statement.
How did you start that career, and when did you decide to make a pivot and really sort of turn the lens out on everyone else?
Yeah, you know, I started because I didn't see anyone that looked like me, and I felt like representation was essential, and I feel like, you know, diversity is what makes the world a special place.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick, but this shouldn't be represented openly as, oh yes, there's body diversity. Yeah, there's body diversity, but nobody's body should be this size, should be this shape. Nothing, no medical condition, no medication, nothing will make you this size other than just overeating to a gross and gluttonous amount. I'm really not trying to be a jerk when I say that, but that is the only thing that will physically make you this big. And that shouldn't be represented. You didn't see representation of bodies like yours because it's not healthy and it's not attractive. And when Tess started, being as big as she was back then wasn't super normal. It was getting a lot more normal, and the size she is today was a lot more uncommon. We have definitely, since Tess started out in the industry, gotten bigger and bigger, and the obesity has gotten worse, and it's just become like this beast that we can't really control. So no, you weren't seeing representation because we wanted movie stars and singers and models to present like a look, a style, a vibe, a fantasy. We want, they are supposed to be what you want to be, and companies did not want people to want to aspire to look and be like you, Tess. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, there are a lot of clothes that just do not look good and don't flatter a shape like yours. I mean, it's like, I know, like, okay, fine, wear whatever you want. If you feel confident, that's fine. But I'm sorry, like certain clothes, certain styles, certain cuts of dresses, bathing suits, shirts, whatever, they're not going to look as good on somebody Tess's size with her body or a similar body as they will on somebody who is a human shape and human size. It's just a fact.
And I thought, well, if I don't see myself, why can't I be that person? So, through my journey, I realized that there were a lot of other people that didn't feel represented. And so, the rest is history.
You don't care about anyone else. You only care about yourself and fat people, Tess. You like to jump on to all kinds of other people, disabled people, the LGBTQ alphabet mafia, and everybody else. You only care about yourself, and you want fat to be considered as attractive and desirable and normal as everybody else, and it just isn't. I mean, well, it's normal these days, unfortunately, because being obese in America is the norm now, but it's not normal.
And you were actually bullied when you first got into this industry, right? Can you tell us about that?
I was bullied throughout high school.
No. Her brother came out and spoke out after she released her biography or whatever. And he said that she was actually the bully. Tess was a classic by the book mean girl. The only difference was she was a fat version of the mean girl. She bullied people. She's always been mean, egotistical. You can see it. You see it. It really comes out in a lot of her TikToks. This woman may have been called fat, may have been picked on for that, but she was the bitchy mean girl. She was the fat Regina George.
And then I was, I think through my career, a lot of people would traditionally see me and think, well, you're short and you're fat.
You're short and you're round, Tess. Plus size models still needed to be tall, and you were an insult to all of the actual plus size models who, like I said, look like regular models and like normal humans. They just have a little more curve. They still have a waist, and their curves are in places that are actually flattering. Yours aren't. Yours are beyond that now.
You have no business being a model, but I think I proved them wrong.
No, you really didn't, Tess, because you weren't hired because you were this supermodel. You were hired to be a statement, and because you have a pretty face. And I do believe she probably does still get lipo and stuff on her face, because even now her face is she's starting to carry weight in her face, but she never really did before. If she had a big giant round face like Foodie Beauty or Amber Lynn, she would not have been nearly as popular, because she just wouldn't have been as attractive. She just happens to have a pretty face, gorgeous hair, where she carries less weight in her face. That if she didn't have that going for her, she never would have been looked at.
Yeah, I would say so.
I would think so. Yeah. I would think so. I know. To all the bullies, you guys aren't aging well.
Yeah.
She is. Yeah.
This woman just said that with a straight face. To all the bullies, you're not aging well. She is. No, she isn't. She might not be alive in 5 years. She's not going to make 50. She may not make 45. Like I said, she's 40, and her body is absolutely wrecked. There is so much not good going on internally in that body. Like I said, that she'll never admit. She is not aging well. Nobody who is that overweight is aging well. If you're 60 pounds overweight, you're not going to age well. Tess is easily 300, maybe 350 pounds overweight. She's not aging well. I can't believe that woman actually said that with a straight face.
So it's kind of the best, though, isn't it?
Right,
You're
yeah.
like, come on.
I mean, I get mistaken all the time for a much younger, lady, but I always say that it's the cheeseburger grease that fills me out.
That's funny to just laugh and joke about that, Tess. That's ridiculous. No, you look younger because you get and I'm not knocking her. I want Botox. I want to get a chin lift or a facelift. I want to get, lip filler and stuff like that. I'm fine with stuff like that, but she gets all that, and that does help keep her looking young. Plus she uses filters and everything. So in that regard, she does look young. But if you look at her from the neck down,
I love it. You know, I always see
her eyes like aren't even fully opening anymore. If you look, it looks, I mean, they're all like squinty and stuff because her face is getting so fat. Her eyes aren't even wide as they used to be. It doesn't look like. Good God. Your face is swallowing your eyes, Tess. Oh my Lord.
and I'm the mother of two boys who are teenagers, and I have nieces, and the messaging out there, it's not going anywhere.
No.
And I wonder what you can tell our viewers at home about this time in their life, right? I feel like 12 to 21, maybe even 12 to 30.
Yeah.
You're inundated with all these messages about what you should be or should not be, or what you should eat or should not eat. What message do you have for them?
Well, that's part of why I wrote Take Up Space, y'all. I didn't think that in this day and age with social media where the kids are also connected, and as a mom myself, there's really no...
Yeah, and you're a crappy mom because you don't care about being there for your kids, and you don't care about being a good role model for them. So just saying.
A way to kind of find your own identity and find maybe something that speaks to you and answer some of these questions. We have the internet, but the internet's not always a safe space, and it's not always factual. So why couldn't I write a book that had actual information with experts and fun quizzes so that you can find your personal style? You know how to deal with frenemies. You know how important it is to take a break from social media.
Yeah, all that's well and good, but Tess, like I said, you shouldn't be giving anybody advice. I wish she would be fading off into the sunset because she encourages people, especially young, impressionable women, to stay fat and get fatter. She portrays this image that her life is just so wonderful and glamorous, and she's amazing, and she's happy, and she doesn't have any health problems. And you know, her talking about, how to deal with social media. She doesn't deal with social media well. She always does clapback videos and stuff because she can't handle the least bit of criticism. And a lot of the time, the criticism she gets is valid because it is about her size. It's about her poor eating habits. It's about what kind of message she's putting out there to young people and to other, to women. Ugh, she's just a horrible, horrible role model.
Touch grass or, like find hobbies that interest you, or how do you do your hair and makeup? Like little things that maybe you don't.
Yeah, she could do a book on how to do hair and makeup because she has gorgeous hair and she does amazing makeup. She knows all kinds of different techniques. She makes her makeup look amazing. I love makeup and all that stuff. Do a book on that. But as far as like talking to people about confidence and what they should do and what they should eat and who they should want to be, unless you just say be and do the opposite of me, then that would be okay.
Have a safe adult or someone telling you can discover that on your own, and I think give them permission to take up space and show up as they are and figure out what that looks like for them.
Yeah, but the thing is if they want to show up as they are, that's fine. But if they're overweight or have some other type of unhealthy habit, you should be encouraging them to get a handle on that so that they aren't plagued with health problems and problems with food and problems with their size their entire life.
What can people expect with this book, Take Up Space, y'all?
I mean, I'm so proud of this book. When I was growing up, I had Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul, and that was my Bible.
Same.
Yeah, the Chicken Soup books, they have a whole series of them now. I remember those were really big. Those were quite a new and interesting concept when they first came out.
I loved it.
Yes.
And so I was like, I want to do a modern version of that. And so there's a lot of, fun quizzes. We talk about anything from disordered eating, which is very important and on the rise right now.
You shouldn't be talking to anybody about problematic consumption of food because you lied about having a restrictive problem with food and ran with it. I mean, that was so insulting to people who actually have that problem. But you refuse to admit and acknowledge your clearly major problem of overconsumption of edible things. It's like YouTube censors so much these days, guys. I'm sorry I have to dance around these words and I can't talk like an adult, on my adult channel, but it is what it is. But yes, Tess has a very, very big problem with food and not being able to control herself and overdoing it. And she's the last person that should be talking to people about that, because she's doing nothing to acknowledge it and to try to get help with it. If you deal with it and you are just being honest about it, to share your story, that's one thing. Or if you've gotten a handle on it, you've been in treatment, you know how to manage it, that's different. But Tess is clearly fine with being happily in the throes of her ed and does not want to change at all, clearly. So she should not be talking to anybody about that at all. And as somebody who has struggled with an ed for many, many years, I find her talking about that insulting.
Now in our youth, to how to find your personal style. Yeah. And it's fun. I think it's funny. And I think they're really going to love it.
I think they're really going to love it too.
Yeah.
So if a teenage girl is, out there questioning her appearance, I know you say put down the social media, pick up the book, touch grass.
And put down the fork if you're big like Tess. God, how about that?
Which I'm going to be thinking about for forever now. How do you, is it just, don't worry, you're going to get to a point in your life where all of this is going to be in the rearview mirror? Because I wouldn't go back to being 16 for all the money in the world.
Me neither. I wouldn't either. I mean, I used to think, oh God, I would love to be that age again, but And the thing with Tess is, it's easy to tell kids and stuff, yeah, all this is going to be behind you, and to a degree it is. But if it comes to eating problems or your weight or anything else that's going to negatively affect your physical and mental health, because yes, being obese will negatively affect your brain and your mental health, we shouldn't be just telling them, oh, don't worry about it, let it go, it's all going to be behind you. Because that stuff will not be behind you. That stuff will follow you and be a part of your life and plague you. So that type of stuff, needs to be addressed.
There's actually little bits of advice that I have in there. And one of them was, what do you say when somebody's maybe picking on you or maybe attacking that your family doesn't make a lot of money or they don't like your clothes or, whatever.
Kids are assholes, okay? They just are. And they will pick on you for being poor and stuff. Give them advice on how to handle and deal with that. Yes, I get that. Kids picking on you about your size, about your weight, things like that. The bad thing is that is something that can be changed. Maybe your parents cannot right now change your economic status and you can't change that you're poor. But a kid getting picked on for being fat, their parents can help them and they can lose weight. And then they won't be made fun of for being fat if they are no longer fat. So stuff like that can at least be managed. You know what I mean? It can be dealt with.
And I always tell them what my mom would tell me, you're not going to see these people in a few years. And if you're anything like me, you will.
Yeah, honest. Other than a couple people, when I left high school, I was so glad to be out of there. I didn't like school. I didn't like high school. And I never looked back. When that chapter closed, I was done and I was off to the next thing, looking forward.
You'll see them in a few years and then they're sliding in your DMs being like, I've always loved you. And I was like, you literally shoved me into lockers. But I think it's important for kids and for young adults and even myself included to learn boundaries and to be able to stand up for yourself and
Yeah, and the problem is until school is done and until you graduate, you do have to be there and put up with these people. So you want it to be as pleasant as possible. High school, I think, other than for a select group of charmed individuals, high school's no fun for most people.
Be able to discover who you are without having, I think there's so much pressure on kids to be and act a certain way. And, I think there should be a little bit more fun and less pressure on them.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think touching grass is a good way too.
Right. And lots of fun.
Do that. Yeah.
And lots of fun.
Yes.
All those bullies in your DMs.
Amen.
Tess has a lot of nerve telling people to touch grass.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When you finish the show, DM us. Let us know what you thought.
I will.
These people don't give a crap about her. These women are gonna never think about her again. Anyways, so yeah, thanks for suggesting this. This was a nice, fun little react. Tess is very frustrating and very infuriating. There is still time for her to get it together and lose some weight. I think she's done so much damage to her body, health-wise. I'm not talking about just physically, appearance-wise. that she will definitely have a shorter than normal lifespan. But if she got serious and lost weight now and got a dietitian and, well, a nutritionist, and got healthy and ate healthy and lost a ton of weight and stayed that way, she would still earn back quite a few years of life. And I don't know why she doesn't want that. Why don't you want to be around as long as you can to see your kids grow up, see them graduate college, get married, meet your own grandchildren? I don't know how that's not, I don't know. That stuff's important to me so much that I find it hard to believe that that type of stuff wouldn't be important and be a priority to another parent, to another mother. It is what it is. But anyways, I hope you guys like this little react. I will be getting some more stuff out later on this week. I hope you're having a good Tuesday, and I will see you all in the next video. Oh, our emoji. I'm sorry. The last emoji was a M for mushroom. We're doing alphabet emojis for the videos. So this one will be N. So do noodle, some kind of a noodle emoji. So let's see those ramen or spaghetti emojis, some type of noodle emoji in the comments to help out with the algorithm. And I will see you guys later. Bye.